Well, hello there, and I do hope you're all well. Now, is our Brazen Boris Johnson really the real reason why Scotland will go independent? Well, that was what a caller said to Darren Adams on his show, I think last Thursday, where he said he's the sole reason why they will. Now, Darren Adams disagreed, and let's just say the back and forth was quite fascinating.
A little closer to home in Gourock, here is Kirsty. Morning, Kirsty.
Morning, hello, how are you?
I'm well, hope you're well. What have you got?
Well, Boris is the main reason Scotland will go independent.
No, it won't.
No, it will.
No, it definitely won't, Kirsty. I mean, look at the numbers. Despite the fact that Johnson is despised probably even more in that part of the country than anywhere else, the numbers on independence are broadly as they were when we rejected it, and I include myself in that, in 2014.
No, I'm telling you now, the times have changed. I was just talking to hairdressers. I was the hairdressers today.
Right.
Every single person in that hairdresser said they'll vote, and there was 5 of them that were no voters said they vote yes. Every single one of them.
Right.
And all I'm saying is
that
what really gets my goat and when I've heard everybody tonight,
yes,
keep on talking about this nation, this one. There's 4 nations.
Kirsty, the United Kingdom.
It's not. It is a union.
Kirsty, it is a nation. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into this nonsense. You can check it with literally the United Nations if you want. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is a country. It is a nation.
What I want to say is, if Boris Johnson and if the rest wanted to just at least placate us, at least of like the Scots wanted to remain in the Union.
Kirsty, so did people in London, so did all sorts of people. The Scots is not, it is the Scots. Kirsty, there's no nation called Scotland. The nation is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It was a UK-wide referendum. I voted passionately in favour of remaining of the European Union, and I think it's a disaster that we've left. But we voted as the UK, not as bits of the UK.
But I want to ask you, but when this was happening,
yes,
Nicola Sturgeon said, she turned round and said, let the nations vote each individually, because every single council, the whole of Scotland, voted to remain. And all
no, it didn't, Kirsty. That's not true. 62% of people in Scotland voted to remain. There were over 1 million Leave votes in Scotland alone.
But wait a minute. I'm saying every council, every area went every state wanted to remain. Okay, I'm not saying we don't have 1 million people that wanted to leave. And apparently now they've done a quote. They said that apparently it would be 75% and not 62% in Scotland to remain.
Right, well, the proportion of people that want to remain and rejoin the European Union has risen right across the country. I'm very pleased about that, but not just in Scotland.
No, I know, but I'm just talking as somebody who lives in Scotland. And
I live in Scotland as well.
Maybe if a lot of our things that were done to us, if we kind of had be part of the negotiations.
So what was done to
EU,
us?
When we got into the EU, when we were forced out of it.
We weren't forced out of it. No one was forced out of it. There was a democratic referendum, and I passionately regret the result of that referendum. And I have certainly said that there is a cause and a case to look again at the question. But that has to be done across the entire country, not bits of the country. And the idea that you would give extra weight to Scotland or Northern Ireland or Wales and give essentially all of them a veto against what there is. No, you don't, though, because then you are giving essentially, look at Wales, population of 3 million. You'd be giving the population of Wales, 3 million, equal weight to the population of England, which is about 60 million. You can't do it like that.
And that's the point, that Scotland has not voted Tory.
Scotland doesn't vote, Kirsty. That's not how this works. Scotland is not a thing that votes. Scotland is a part of the United Kingdom.
We're a nation that went into a union.
Region.
Right? And as
region of a country.
Region.
You are.
I am a nation. I am Scots.
You're not.
And I'd be part of the United Kingdom.
You're someone calling from a region of the UK that is called Scotland.
So you don't believe we're a nation?
No. The United Kingdom is the nation. Check it with the United Nations.
Yeah, but why do you think we had a referendum?
What was the result of that referendum?
I'm not disputing it. I'm saying, why were we allowed to have a referendum if you don't recognise Scotland as a nation?
The fact that the referendum took place says nothing about the nationhood of Scotland, other than the fact the idea of creating a country called Scotland was rejected.
The Scottish people are sovereign.
If you really do, I mean, if you want to hang your hat on that and you want to point to Scotland's nationhood and whether or not it exists, I wouldn't point to an independence referendum in which the prospect of creating a country called Scotland was rejected comprehensively by more than a 10-point margin.
Now, when it comes to Scottish independence, I tend not to do too much about it because I can guarantee I just don't know enough, and if I did something about it, more often than not, my ignorance will just expose me, so I won't. But when it comes to conversations about Scottish independence, I do find them absolutely fascinating. And if I'm honest, I'd be gutted if Scotland did go, because I remember when I went to it was a pre-season friendly for Bradford City. We played St Mirren and we had a cracking afternoon and evening in Glasgow city centre. Oh, brilliant. And when it comes to the scenery, absolutely beautiful, you know. And so I certainly won't want them to go, but why would you want to hang on to the coattails of this extreme Brexit Tory government? I certainly wouldn't. And if I'm honest, I don't normally listen to Darren Adams. It's just basically due to the time that he's on. More often than not, I'm in the land of Nod. So, fantastic. Heads up from Aki's Mad Top Class. Thanks for giving me the heads up on that, because I did find the conversation absolutely fascinating. But more importantly, what do you guys think? Who was right? Now, I thought there was a tad of arrogance from Darren Adams about no, they won't get independence. I'm thinking, how can you be so sure? That's the reason why I found the conversation truly fascinating and interesting. But what do you guys think? Who was right? Darren right, or was it the young lady? I don't know, but what do you guys think? Right, I shall leave the video here. Until the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care. Oh, again, thanks for the heads up again, Aki's Man. Top class.